purposes, and we can create a project here and so on. We can just call this a test project. This is just to see or get familiar how we can use the YAML file and all the Azure DevOps purposes. You might have seen this in university or at your current workplace where you're working right now. So you got repos, which are a little bit different from the GitHub, but they are more integrating this as we speak. Microsoft is doing that. We do have boards, which are like Trello boards and so on, and sprints. One thing we are interested in, the one thing that we are interested in are called pipelines. Create your first pipeline. Automate your build and release process using our wizard. Go from cloud to hosted within minutes. See here we can do Azure repos, Bitbucket Cloud, or GitHub. Where is our code? Our code is in Azure, or it's actually not in Azure, it's in GitHub, which are probably in Azure. But the one we're interested in is the testing purposes, YouTube. Okay, so how can we use this? We need to select the repository that we are in, testing purposes for YouTube, or we can select it for all repositories, which you should be a little bit careful if you're working with other projects. So let's not do that for now. It doesn't show up the one we had. I think that's because it's already installed, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it's here. See, it says suggested, selected. So it's actually already selected it, which threw me up a little bit with the UI design here. Let's approve and install this one, which means that this thing called, extension are able to now communicate with Azure and so on, and GitHub. Actually, GitHub is what it communicates with. You can see we can configure a pipeline for like starter pipeline or an existing Azure Pipelines YAML file. Let's take a look if we have any existing. Yes, we do have. You see it comes up here, the main test app for YouTube purposes, which is the one that got created when we created our web app, which is the one we looked at. Let's just update this. It's here, GitHub workflows. Notice that it says .github, which means it's hidden, and click on this file. Here we have it, and this is the same file I'm now interacting with using Azure DevOps, which are a different suite across the suite of Azure, but it's Microsoft all the way as well. And here we can see we can actually run this, which means that we can modify this. We can change different things that we would like to do here. We can install different features if we would like to do that, or we can change certifications or certificates and so on. And we can also set up a way to run this whenever we want, like a pipeline. So pipeline is like a way of automating things in order to efficiently develop code as fast as possible across different environments and teams. So this is the YAML file that we also can get familiar with when we are becoming Azure experts. It is faster to just modify this thing here instead of having to click through all of the different things that we need to do in order to set this up. But now you might ask, what are different between this YAML file and the ARM template that we had? That's a good question. And that's something we can take a look at when we go back to Azure. Let's go to the resource. Let's take a look if we can find this option. We do have name, web app, hosting, and so on. Remember, in the beginning, we did have a way of selecting all the different options in order to set it up. What we do have here is a YAML file in order to set up it across Azure directly. From my understanding, this thing creates the resource. It connects to the resource group, as you can see here, new resource group. When you're dealing with Pulumi, it says new resource group, even though you have it. So you have to be careful about this, but we can go into more details about that later. But when you're using this YAML template, it knows already which resource you are in. It says which branch you're talking about, and it connects to GitHub. And then it says it wants Ubuntu and so on, and then it just goes ahead and builds it across Azure. environment.